There's a reason why The Secret Life of Walter Mitty is a favorite film for many. It hits a very fundamental human desire to find purpose and mirrors our own inner longing to also be able to live the life that we truly long for. Walter's story reminds us that no matter how ordinary life feels, we all have the power to choose to take action and steps towards our dream life. This is Walter, the guy who escapes his anonymous life by disappearing into a world of fantasies. He dreamed of a bigger, bolder life and didn't act until his world was shaken up. And we can learn a lot from Walter. You might be wanting to see if you're asking the right questions and wanting to gain clarity on concrete steps you can take to take control of your own narrative. That can mean different things to everyone. You could be contemplating to change jobs, change up your living environment, leave your current situation and move on to a new chapter, or to make a career switch. So, how can we know it's time for a change? After entertaining the craving of experiencing life outside of Singapore for about a year, there were symptoms I saw that made me recognize that it was time to finally go. To answer the question, let's do a bit of reverse engineering from the diary of a 20-something who is contemplating walking an unconventional and different path from her current one. I knew I was due for a pivot in my life when I could no longer push away the strong urge to seek alignment. I felt that there was a disconnect between how I lived, how I spent my time, and what my heart truly longed for. The deep longing for alignment and authenticity clearly marked the moment that it was time to act. Change becomes inevitable when you crave purpose and are no longer content to settle. In the movie, we see that Walter constantly escapes into elaborate daydreams when he's confident, bold, and adventurous. These fantasies reflect his untapped potential and the life he wishes that he could live. His mundane reality, a corporate job processing negatives at Life magazine, feels like a cage that stifles his bigger dreams. When your dreams are too big for your environment, the knowing that you are meant for a greater sense of purpose or feeling of having untapped and unexplored potential is a good indicator for a need to shake things up. Like Walter, many of us feel like our current environment does not align with who we want to be. Maybe you feel like you don't belong because your values and priorities are shifting. Or there's a disconnect in the intersection between your skill set, what you're currently doing, and how you want to make a difference in the world. I graduated during COVID and went straight into the workforce, and I was fortunate to land a good paying job doing what I enjoy. Yet, I found myself begin questioning taking a different path. I was 25 then, and halfway through my 20s. Ironically, years of academic success, hard work, and the right connections shaped what I do for work into a significant part of my personal identity. I recognized that and knew that if I had continued with that, I would miss out on the important things in life and wanted to deliberately rebel against that. At that point, the responsibility to have things all figured out felt really huge. I thought to myself that this can't be what life is going to look like from now on. We can be so many different things, and there is just so much excitement in uncertainty, and I want to explore that. With the realization that you want your life to be more than just daydreams, ask yourself, am I living in alignment with the person I want to become, or am I in an environment that no longer serves me? For us to feel purposeful, our challenges should slightly exceed our abilities, enough to push us, but not so much that they become demotivating. You got to go where the people you aspire to be around are. I wanted to meet inspiring people who thought and lived differently. To grow, I felt the need to step into spaces where I could learn from and collaborate with more like-minded individuals. A shark in a fish tank will only grow 8 inches, but in the ocean it will grow to 8 feet or more. Well, I'm not entirely sure if this is scientifically proven, but the shark will never outgrow its environment, and the same is true about you. Change your environment and watch your growth, and for me, A very great first step to make room for things to shift in the quest to align my heart, mind, and desires is to physically move abroad and situate myself in more appropriate and inspiring environments where I could bring out parts of me that were now dormant. Walter's first big step is when he decides to fly to Greenland to track down Sean O'Connell's missing negative. It's terrifying for him, and he has never been on an adventure before, but physically moving into the environment itself forced him to adapt and grow. Sometimes the only way to unlock our full potential is to change our surroundings. Like water, we need to take the first leap, whether it's moving to a new place, pursuing a dream, or surrounding ourselves with people who think bigger. Does your environment challenge and inspire you, or is it keeping you small? If you want to grow, what's the first step you can take to expand your world? As much as many of us hate to admit, I believe that there are timelines or more ideal timings in life. It is important to recognize that this time, when we are young, is precious and valuable. Acknowledging the fact has led me to reflect and identify time based goals or privileges. For example, different countries provide different privileges for young professionals under 30 or visa opportunities for only a limited time, such as 5 years after your graduation. Hence, understanding how I had limited time to take advantage of these privileges made me see that I didn't want to sit around and push off experimenting with these opportunities any longer. Perhaps you could ask yourself what opportunities in your life has an expiration date, or what goals or experiences might you regret not pursuing earlier. On the other hand, I believe that we also have to ask ourselves some honest questions. Have we shown up with our best? Walter's daydreams symbolize the person that he wants to become, but in reality, he was not showing up for himself until he was forced out of his comfort zone. His adventure taught him that the life that he has been imagining isn't as far away as it seems, and he just needed to act on it. Also, have you explored your options? While our environments or situation might not be our dream scenarios, have we ourselves tried to make things better or voice out our own desires? Have we attempted to make change and be the change that we want to see? And lastly, are you waiting for life to happen to you, or have you been exploring possibilities available? Have you created a plan, a timeline, or even take one small step towards change? I feel that these questions are important because it helps us not put ourselves in a victim mindset, but one that enforces the autonomy that we have and the mindset that we are able to create change if we want to. When you have honestly answered these questions yourself, but still feel that it is time for a change, then you can leave your current scenario without any regret. Walter didn't just become adventurous, he always had it in him, and he just needed to change his environment to unlock it. His journey was not about becoming someone else, but about rediscovering who he always has been. By stepping out of his environment, he uncovers his courage, resourcefulness, and passion for life. In the end, he becomes the person that he's always daydreamed about, proving that it's never too late to make a change. However, he had to shake things up. The truth is, the life that you want will not just happen. You have to go out there and create it. What better time is there than in our 20s and 30s to take some risks and do things that we will be excited to tell our future kids about someday? Seeking different unique experiences can build our identity capital and a library of traits that make us who we are. It's your story and your set of characteristics, soft skills, and interests that form your personality, values, and is what creates a unique impression on others you meet. Well, I personally think that if you have searched for this video looking for answers, you already have the answer that you are looking for inside of you.